Welcome to another Fantasy Goodfellas video where we talk about the top 15 tight end rankings for week 6. You ready?
The Fantasy Goodfellas.
Boom, boom, boom. Rolling on the field.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.
All right, before we get started, let me remind you how this works. This is not our rankings. This is Fantasy Pros rankings. We're just going to talk about them and use our stat machine to see whether we like it or not. Number 1, Trey McBride at the Indianapolis Colts. With Trey McBride's been the most dynamic tight end all season. If we look at him, this is what he's done all season. No TDs, so receiving yards, 275 receiving yards. So we expect him to do well. It's just, can he be that top tight end each and every week? At number 2, Tyler Warren versus the Arizona Cardinals. Tyler Warren had a touchdown in week 5, 44 receiving yards. If you look at him, he's been in the top 10 4 of the past 5 weeks. At number 3, Tucker Kraft versus the Cincinnati Bengals. What did Tucker Kraft had a bye week? Before then, he did 56 receiving yards, good for 15th. I think that this is a little high for him. At number 4, you got Jake Ferguson at the Carolina Panthers. Jake Ferguson is having an unbelievable season. And look at this. He had 49 receiving yards with 2 receiving touchdowns, which was only good for second. So that tells you something. At number 5, Sam LaPorta at the Kansas City Chiefs. Sam LaPorta is not having one of those breakout seasons that he's had before. He's done well, but if you're not paying attention, too many weapons, that's always is going into it when you drafted these players. If you look at what he's done, he had a great week 5, but otherwise mediocre yardage, and this is what his touchdown got into the end zone, so that helps. I think tight ends, it's all about the touchdowns. You got to go with your gut feeling on who's going to make it in the end zone. At number 6, Darren Waller versus the Los Angeles Chargers. He's home. He's going to do 78 receiving yards, 1 receiving touchdown. He did that in week 5. He's coming alive. Ever since he's been there, he got a lot more yardage this past week, and he's been in the end zone each week he's played. So I think he can get in there again. I like him right here. At number 7, Brock Bowers versus the Tennessee Titans. Brock Bowers, I think they were on here. He did 46 receiving yards in week 18. If you want to see how they've done all season, probably right outside the top 15. So I doubt that he's going to do it again this week. I think he's going to be outside. At number 8, Hunter Henry versus the New Orleans Saints. Hunter Henry, here he's done 46 receiving yards. That offense is heating up a bit, but look, 2 catches for 46 yards. Drake May and had that nice come from behind victory, so that's looking pretty good. He needs to get into the end zone to stay there. At number 9, Travis Kelce versus the Detroit Lions. Kelce had a great game. They did lose that game, but does that mean Travis Kelce of old's back? I doubt it. So if you look at what he's done all season, he's only been in the top 15 3 times. So that's pretty good. Beated my expectations, and that's why it's good to see these rankings to see how they do. At number 10, Zach Ertz at the Baltimore Ravens. Zach Ertz, he had 1 target in week 5, and now you got him ranked so high. I guess that's a big expectations. I don't expect that to happen this week. Number 11, Dallas Goedert at the New York Giants. Here he got into the end zone. That pushed him into the top 15. That offense, threw the ball a little bit, but remember, it's Jalen Hurts. It's more of a run team, so you're banking that Goedert gets into the end zone. I doubt it this week. I expect this to be higher than expected. At 12, Dalton Kincaid at the Atlanta Falcons. Kincaid is getting the yardage. He looks good out there. He's got some nice routes. He could have done a little bit better. A couple of those, there was a couple of holds or brought them back. So if you look what he's done on yardage, that was his best game of the season. And look at touchdowns. He's just decent. So you got to go with Kincaid. Number 13, Kyle Pitts Sr. now versus the Buffalo Bills. Here they were on a bye. Before he had 70 receiving yards, 1 receiving touchdown, 39 receiving yards. You're banking on him to do well. So I think some other people can slide in here. Somebody like a Brent Strange. Number 14, Juwan Johnson versus the New England Patriots. Here he had 17 receiving yards. Just take a peek at this entire offense. Here, 2 catches. He only threw 30 times, only 20 catches. But, looks like it's going. They're not doing it. Just spread out. 4, 1 catch. Most is Chris Olave, 7 catches. So I don't expect Johnson to do well this week either. At number 15, you got David Njoku at the Pittsburgh Steelers. So here, he finally had a good week. Out of all the weeks he had his best week of the season. And finally, people who drafted him can kind of rely on him now. Now, is this going to happen each week? Not sure. But he got into the end zone. It's looking good. So he's got talent. It's just a matter if he can put it together each and every week. That's going to do it for the top 15 tight end rankings for week 6. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we show you the best fantasy stats.